believe none of y'all, respectfully. I'm sorry. I just don't mess with politicians.
Listen, but you say you don't believe politicians, but I was building up, friends and family. Friends and family.
It's like, all I want to know is how much we as a community are paying for a deal that nobody's ever seen.
We're paying for it, so
I heard like for the next 20 years, we're going to have to pay for this.
I respect anyone who wants to smoke weed. That's their business. I mean, as long as they're not with kids.
I mean, I've always seen it just like from an economical standpoint, like
a lot of things we can do from economical
standpoint. Why are we not doing them then?
I literally asked her, like, and during the election time, like, listen, like, Kaya de Papia, cool. You wanted a deal, and your father was a lawyer, and then you couldn't get the person from web, but then you put your cousin as a director, he signs the government, and then he steps down, he puts somebody else.
I mean, experience matters.
I'm Dios.
We're going to get to that. Okay.
I've talked about this before. We want to just go and interview like inmates.
You want
as inmate? That's Shark go. He'll be
as inmates. So happy to be not shit.
Shark will be happy. He drops himself every day.
Are you crazy? Sorry, no, I'm not built for prison. I'm sorry. I love my freedom. Respectfully.
Hey, yo, what's up?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Welcome back to the ABC Island's favorite podcast, No Filter in Paradise, a show about literally anything and everything between two friends. One is straight and the other
super duper melanated and homosexual babies.
Hey.
Her.
All right, guys, we are back. It's been a while.
Look at his disgusted face. He's so disgusted.
This is how you know we haven't done this in a while, because I usually look at the guest first after you finish your sentence, and they always freaked out. Like, you're like, what the hell?
I know it. Yeah. To me, it changed. It used to be different.
Yeah, minus Bowers now. You know, like, make it a little cuter.
Oh, God. All right, guys, so we're back. It's been a while since we recorded an episode. Big shout out to everybody who saw our Bonaire episode, and then, Bonaire season. And then right after, we did a Curacao season, focused on like sustainability and yada yada, all the good stuff. So me and Shark, we were like, how should we end this year? And we were looking back, like exactly a year ago, it was election time, and we did a whole election season, and we thought, why not do a recap and ask, what have you done in 2025? So to start off this episode, we got Mr.
We're not about to do that, okay?
I'll let you introduce.
Listen, this man has done stuff, okay?
Like what?
People wanted him back. Allegedly, the streets been claiming, they were like, listen, y'all gotta bring this man back. Like, even the cops were like, hey.
Although he's never been on No Filter before.
He's never been on here.
But we had him on Voto Paking like 6 years ago.
We did. Okay, so apparently he is the Minister of Justice.
Apparently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I'm just saying.
Why are you trying to mess up the thing?
All right,
okay,
go for it.
like
okay.
You see, this is what has be happening. Like, why you gonna be interfering? Gosh. Okay, integration and public transport, y'all. We have none other than the one and only Mr. Arthur Dowers.
Hey.
Bueno, pues, señor.
A round of applause.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, audience, guys.
Thank you for the invitation. And
thank you for coming. The first one.
It's my pleasure.
First one.
When we announced it, you were the first one to react. And I'm like, I'm in.
I'm also in charge with energy.
Oh, you got energy as well.
Okay,
clock it. Energy. Right. Clock it.
Okay. I did not know that.
Okay.
And when we started out,
you had more.
Yeah. A double portion.
What did you?
It's been sized down.
He had Mike the Mesa's stuff as well.
Public services and
infrastructure, I think, as well.
Infrastructure also. And telecommunication.
Yeah.
So we had a whole mouthful, and now it's sized down. We kept energy, and things are moving.
That's crazy. That was a lot, though.
100%.
There's a lot, but I mean, experience matter. So.
I'm Dios.
We're going to get to that. It's okay.
I can't believe that's the first thing.
We're going to get to that. I love that he did that.
Oh,
you forget.
Because now we have the perfect reason why we should bring up strong questions. I'm like, thanks for setting it up for us.
Thank you so much.
So, that helps. And when you, not only my experience, but we also had a team we started out with 15 years ago, and most of them were still, we took them out of where they were parked, and most of them were even smarter, much developed than 15 years ago, and with the experience of 15 years ago till 8 years ago. So we started running.
I'm not mad at that. No. I'm not mad at that.
I'm happy.
So let's jump right on up into it, okay? So this year, y'all got, sworn in
Zo waarlijk,
Mijn God en
zo
ja.
waarlijk helpen mij God almachtig.
Hey,
Hey.
deze ding, je weet al. Je weet al.
Not everybody can pronounce that.
I'm not a I ain't doing
Can't
it.
pronounce it.
Yeah, I'm not even
That's
gonna
why we
claim
even
it.
try. The last thing I'm gonna do is look stupid on my own show.
Okay,
All right,
so
let's go.
with this, you said that this time around it was special. What made this one special?
Well, every time it was special, but this one was special. I mean, every time it's special, but what is the speciality this time? We sat. We have done a lot for the island. We sat and look at how the ones who took over after us were going to continue what we have started. And what we've seen is that the projects that they must have finished, so that they were contractually obligated to finish, that was done. But we've seen a big decay also. We've seen that a lot of things were not continued. The perspective changed, and a lot of things were really, in my opinion, not in the hand of the Aruban government anymore. Because there's a lot of discussion on autonomy in our country, but when I came back, I've seen there's a lot of influence from outside, and not necessarily that the influence can be bad, but what I've seen is a lot of people have pulled back, and other people have taken decisions in our community. One of the other things I saw is that there were a lot of promises made, and some of us might have believed, because you're not into what's really going on in the ministeriat and in all the departments, and a lot of promises were made, and when we came back, we saw that a lot of them were empty promises, because a lot of the staff we used to have in the past, the way we were able to get things done in the past, I didn't see that efficiency present anymore in our government. It's not very easy, because I know that there's also competition from the public sector, private sector to the government, because some of the wages are very good in the public in the private sector. So maybe some of the good professionals also left the public sector. But there's a lack of well-prepared, well-schooled professionals, and that, as we say in Dutch, takes a toll on functioning of the government.
Yeah,
That's one of the things. One of the other things I think is very important is that what we're seeing today is that the ministers who are in office, some of them are bragging, we did a very good job and tremendous. And
yeah, we see that.
Yeah, but when you really look at what was done, and especially in the field where I am working in justice, total mess.
Stop.
Total mess.
Those are the questions. I want to know
it's
what was
easier to sell BS than to get real stuff done. Because you can go sell and say that you did a lot of good things, and when you really look under the cover, then you see that a lot of the stuff was not done.
So that means basically you say Rokochong Lai.
Well, that I've said him many times.
Bagaya, say.
Many times I've told him that, and I will continue to tell him that, because the proofs are all there. When we work in strafrecht and in law enforcement, you need to have proof, and the proof is there. That a lot of things he did was, total BS. And some of the things that one of the things he did, and he's bragging a lot with it, is something I started out, he boycotted, and then I came and do it, and then finished the project.
What was it?
But
Wait, yeah, what was it?
We're not going to give any details, but just for you to know, because he's going to, most probably when he look at this program, he's going to be, getting on bad and maybe calling you guys, say, give me a chance for me to come and.
Oh no, he come in.
Oh,
Trust
he
me,
come in.
yeah.
He's
I think
in.
tomorrow stuff we got here.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, good.
Yeah.
There's no way he can watch this and comment back on it.
Okay.
Oh, and
You can
also
ask.
this is like like a little thing that we did this season. Okay, so we had everybody you can leave a question for somebody as well. We're gonna let you do that, but you're the first one. So because you and Rocco had the same thing, we also let him ask you a question. So we have a
Okay,
question
good.
from Rocco
Okay,
to you as well. So yeah.
No, lost course.
Guys, ito may pasang cheese na arresto. We reached there yet. Okay, so on a personal level, right? How does this return feel for you?
It feels like just coming back home. Even my office, I was in the same office complex. So
Stop.
It's just like coming back home. Like we've never been away.
Same office?
Same office.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same office.
But how long do you? Because we've asked the mister this last time we spoke to him. Like, how long do you see yourself being in politics?
I'm not Trump or Biden, so.
Ooh, clock it.
What
Not
does that
Trump
even
nor
mean?
Biden.
He's not trying to run like an old man.
No, I mean,
I'm not thinking of sitting here till 80 years.
so you're saying this might be your last time being
Could
in
be.
politics?
Yeah. I'm not saying in politics, but
But
I'm
that's
not
like-
necessarily, trying to get reelected.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
important thing is that
You always be supportive from the
yeah,
sidelines.
I always been supportive to my party, AVP, and people that want to do good for the community. I will always support them, and I will always do my utmost best to make sure that MEP stays out of power. I think that's even
Man, I
more
wish I was
im-
recording that part. I was about to record that.
even more important than getting AVP in power. I think that's important because these people, if I'm very honest, and you might
Be
think
honest.
I don't like them, but some of them are really. I find they're wicked. And
Oh, wow.
they're really wicked people. They lie a lot, and they go behind people and persecute people. And I find that's not done in a democracy and in a decent society. You should respect people's opinions, people's beliefs. You don't have to agree with each other, but you should not just go in behind someone because they have a different belief than you have. And we've seen that happen. We've seen even the judicial system used to go after people because they had an opinion about certain politicians. And in our days, that was very rare. I mean, they came and what you see now, they make all kind of fake accounts and they create all kind of, AI stuff and crazy stuff, insulting people and,
Yeah.
and demonizing, dehumanizing people. I do not believe in that stuff. I don't do it. But when they do it, I just laugh. I don't go and use the scarce capacity of our
Unnecessary. It's not
judicial
needed.
system to go in behind people. But okay, that's what
There's a lot
is
of
done.
bashing online.
Yeah, it's a bunch of childish shit. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Grow up, y'all.
Yeah.
Both some sticker. Grow up. So, okay, so you just mentioned something, and I want to tackle on that for a hot second. So you said that you would like to see AVP to continuously be in office, right?
Well, not necessarily continuously, but continuously be in the political, important position in the political spectrum on the island because it is a party with a history that have demonstrated that they have done important things for the islands, and each and every time that MEP comes and destroys this country, we come back and rebuild the country. So it's necessary. As long MEP is here, AVP should be there.
Okay. At some point, you don't feel like both of them supposed to just wash out, Tabasco?
Well, if you can create something in the image of AVP, no problem. But we've seen that.
But wouldn't that just be another AVP?
Hey, that'll be AVP.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need AVP. You
Okay,
need
but
the
okay.
philosophy. So why change?
Okay,
the
but
brand-
listen.
I'm not saying
if the
change,
brand
maybe
is
you
good.
can- Maybe because you can
it-
adapt to certain things. Like in 20 years, it won't be the same as today.
Yeah, it's an evolution.
Yeah.
We're not the same as our friends in the past, late Henny Aman, and you can mention some more. We're not the same, but we have learned from them and we've built on what they have done. And we're not the same as those guys that were in 1942, but we build on that philosophy. And the philosophy is that you should work for the community, not what we're seeing now, that you have a group of people that want to get in power to enrich themselves. And there's only one family that's proven that they have enriched themselves they were poor, just like many other people in the community.
They was poor?
You thought they were rich?
I don't know. For my young them people in the also, I don't know.
But you can ask those that were there before me, because I have heard from them that they were poor just as us. And then they just build these empires on public money. So that's
And this is,
that's a
proven?
fact. That's proven.
But is it public information or
He's
is it
justice.
public
He said
knowledge.
there's
I
history.
understand.
There's
I understand.
receipts.
Public knowledge.
Pull out the
understand.
receipts.
And for me to
That's
quote,
what I'm asking.
like for instance,
Yeah.
Speed, there's always say you have a legal way of stealing, and their ways. And the sad part of it is that they will go and accuse every one of you guys have taken money from the government and your family, your wives, this and that. But when you look at the numbers, you look at the books, you will see that there's only one family who have really, they have make sure that all the family rented all the certain buildings. They have even created contracts in which they will go to the bank, get a piece of land, build a building, construct a building, and pay it based on the contract, or get a loan based on the contract that was given to them by the government. There's proof of that. But
That's
you need
craziness.
a historian, a politicologue, that's study and go and do the math for you.
Okay, but then
it's important for you to know.
let's also focus on, and this is just me being a little bit of the devil's advocate and
always.
the human person. Pero AVP also had their fair shares of criminalidad.
Yeah, what you have is that you have people that have been accused of doing things that are not right bestuurlijk. However, if you look at that, because you can do a lot of things in government that are not right, yeah, but not necessarily that you have stolen. If you really look, and those that are really, took from the public, none were persecuted. Because as I said, what my friend Speeder say, you can steal legally in the government. You just have to know which way to organize.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy.
Because if you look at there's one politician up to now, and I mean, MAP have spoken about, I mean, even if Cruz, you guys remember, when we were in a crisis time, and we said all of us have to get together and deal with the Dutch regarding the loans that we were getting. She said, no, I'm not going to deal with you guys because you guys are University of Corruption. But if you really look, who is the professor, the main professor, the dean of the University of Criminality, that's Evelyn Maeve Cruz.
Oh my
Because
God.
look at her party.
This
You
is the
see
first
that
episode where
the most people in her party were persecuted. But that's not necessarily the measure. Important is to realize that almost no one was persecuted because they took money from the government. That's Becerril was the one who was persecuted. I mean, for that. Otherwise, it was acting not in accordance with certain stipulations, legal stipulations, and the rest is history.
That's crazy.
I do have a question, and this may be slightly off topic, but still
No,
on
it's
the
okay,
whole
go
justice
ahead.
Part is, and I've brought this up to different kind of politicians regarding the whole, is it the LNG contract stuff that nobody have seen?
The Eagle LNG
The
contract.
Eagle LNG contract, yes.
Is it like, I mean, till this day, nobody has seen anything, right?
Well, a lot of people have seen it because
No, but I mean, like, what's the details in the contract?
yeah, we've seen it. However, we are still in debate if we should publish it because there is a stipulation that it's
The NDA
should
or
not
whatever.
be published, and if you do that, then they might
You're breaking the
yeah.
NDA.
and
okay.
then they might go after you, and we don't want that. So, but someday it will come out. You
I
just
hope so.
be
I mean-
patient.
I mean, people-
But what I do understand is,
I mean, ask this
this
for like
contract has
over a
not
year.
has not delivered anything good for us. Huh? So
I know, but that's why I'm asking, because what's
But we're paying for it, so
I
like
know. heard, like, for the next 20 years, we're gonna have to pay for this.
it was not continued. This contract was
okay.
Voided?
stopped. Yeah, and we are waiting. We didn't get any reaction from them, so I suppose we are all good now. Someday that contract will come out. We also have a.
But that's crazy. Sorry, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So y'all heard from them, but y'all don't know for sure. But y'all are the ones in charge
I know
now.
for sure that the
Oh,
contract
okay,
is
that
stopped.
it's done and everything
Yeah.
is like cleaned and like that.
But we did not get any reaction from the company, so I suppose that it's okay because the contract have not been prolonged. Very important is to realize that there is NDA, and based
Yeah,
on that,
of course.
we cannot just
throw out information?
information on the street.
Makes total sense.
However, that does not mean that there will come a point in time in which it will be published. But more important is, and more interesting is to know, why was man so eager to sign this contract? And what we do suspect is that certain people maybe received some money for the signing. So
Yeah, I heard, like, this
the
whole golden
signing
handshake thing I
fees and
heard.
stuff like that.
Because
I
I remember
handshake
we
directly.
asked her. Yeah, she said.
I asked her, like,
The golden handshake was to guarantee that this contract could have been signed. So they needed to get rid of certain
But that-
directors and
I know,
to
yeah.
open the way for them to have total control over the whole.
I literally asked her, like, and during the election time, like, listen, like, Kaya Papia, cool. You want a deal, and your father was a lawyer, and then you couldn't get the person from Web, but then you put your cousin as director, he signs the government, and then he steps down, he puts somebody else, and then nobody can see it.
That's the reality.
All I want to know is how much we as a community are paying for a deal that nobody's ever seen. But anyways, let's move on.
She said that they did the NDA
moving on.
was for because
Curaçao.
Curacao and them were also gonna have a deal with this company. So in order for them not to see the
Different
pricings, that's why it was yada yada yada.
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
stop.
yeah.
Just sound like an LB City show.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
it's
Okay,
on
guys,
record.
And you believe her?
I don't believe none of y'all. Respectfully, I'm sorry. I just don't mess with politicians.
Listen, we just ask
I just
questions
talk
in
to
interviews.
y'all and
Yeah.
have
The
conversations.
answer is no. Okay, thanks.
No, sorry, no me.
It's more like we like to have conversations, and then, for example, if you were part of the interview last year, we would have watched the whole episode and like, hey,
Yeah, I'd be like,
you
okay,
said
Dowers,
this.
you said.
Yeah,
So
okay,
you're
but
you're
you
you
said that
good.
six
Good.
years.
You're
You
six
good.
years.
You get to lead the pack.
Yeah. Everybody else is coming on. They've already
They're
been on the
fucked,
show.
yeah.
So like we're gonna be asked, hey, Babisa tatal kos, compara.
Yeah.
Everybody's
But
getting.
you can look anything I've said many years ago and ask. I have my
right,
answers.
all right.
Always
So-
ready.
Okay,
Mr.
so
Dowers, you
yeah.
promised change in safety.
Yep.
Where are we like already seeing this kind of safety? Like,
Well,
And the change.
Actually, but one of the important things we said, we change in policy, not necessarily change in
on the street.
safety. You have a responsibility to continuously invest in public safety. There are many ways to do it. One of the things, for instance, that we are seeing is that we have a large presence, as was the case 15 years ago when he came in office. So this is, deja vu. Same thing. Okay. In those days, maybe you guys were very young. Boshi Waver opened the first Chola Hotel in Rhinestad.
That's in the back by XFM.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
XFM, and
That's where the lawyer
yeah.
building is. And
yeah,
there's
exactly.
I think next to it.
They had a parking lot there, and they've
Okay,
And
yeah.
the building. Do you have any idea who owned the building they opened the Chola House in?
No, new
No, yeah, still own it, but who only do
Edmond Cruz or something like that, right?
So, you see, so you say you don't believe politicians, but that was I was building up, friends and family, friends and family.
Like, you guys got questions? I got some things to throw in there.
Friends and
here
family
there.
forever. Okay, so
Oh,
the family
God.
had a building. They got a lot of money for rent, and the public suffered a lot on that. And now that we are back in office, what you've seen is that they have created new organizations, but there's no facility on Aruba anymore to do mandatory care for addicts. So that means that only if you're willing to go in voluntary, you can get care, or if you want to go during the day, you can get care, but the government doesn't have the power anymore and no instrument to take you from the street and mandatory treat you as a measure to increase safety and security in for instance, the Binnenstad in the inner city. That's one of the things we're working on very hard now, because we need to make sure that that's possible again. Because you need a certain moment as a government to let people understand that, listen, there is an authority in the island. We were elected to guarantee that there's law and order. For instance, if you look at the whole parking stuff, we are pushing back now because everybody does what they want in the city.
The old parking? Or
The whole parking.
oh, the whole parking. I'm
the
like,
parking.
old
No,
parking.
Yeah,
parking,
the
the whole parking stuff.
Like the pay and
Old
stuff.
yeah. Pay and regulated parking. You cannot just park anywhere you like. And many times I explain to the community, if you just decide to park anywhere, and people were doing that for a while now, and we had an incident in which a bus was just stopped because the traffic was blocked. Someone just decided to park in a side.
bus can get through.
So the bus can get through. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
Binnenstad in the city was blocked.
Backed up traffic, yeah.
If the police needed to get somewhere, the fire truck or the ambulance,
You're
they
inconvenient.
cannot reach. And then if it's your family at the receiving end and needs service, then you would complain. Because normally when we start to
It's true.
to reestablish law and order, people start to complain. So a lot of people like when it's a free for all. But when you become a victim of the free for all, then you complain.
Then it's a problem. Mm-hmm.
So
That's
that's
very
important. We are pushing on those stuff. But we have a lot of other things. For instance, the whole issue with littering in the whole island is a dump. We're talking about nice, beautiful tourist island, but if you go in the tourist area, you go in the ports where the tourists come in, you go anywhere. So, one big mess. That's part also of security, and we are pushing back to get a lot of police officers back in, for instance, the tourist areas. We used to have a police-oriented group of officers, and that they are all phased out by this government. There are security guards on bicycles, and that's
They have
nice.
little body cams and stuff too.
Yeah, I saw them.
Which is illegal, but okay.
Wait, what?
We gonna get to that. We got some body cam stuff
Oh
as
my
well.
God.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to jump
I
in
know
right
it's
now.
so
I'm
much.
eager.
It's so much to
Yeah,
ask this
it's
man.
because
Oh, God.
that's law. I passed that law through Parliament in the days myself.
Clock it.
Yeah, write it on. for your friends. It's the government who has that authority to observe people in public areas, not security companies, not private companies. It's as simple as that. The government have the legal authority to do it, and the government have the obligation to guarantee the privacy. The government have the legal possibility of storing that material, and the district attorney can always, not always, but if there is a case and where it's justified, the district attorney can subpoena the material and use it in a case also.
So I want to say, definitely we'll give you your props because we did see a difference with Nos Adicto ng Ambulante by XFM in the parking lot. Like they really got cleared out. For some reason, I don't know what happened, but they're gone.
Yeah.
I don't know where they at, but they're gone.
Yeah, well, they will keep moving, but we need to have a facility because there must be a moment when the government can, what is it, they say in Dutch, laat tanden zien. They can show you the tools and now it's enough, and now I'm going to really act against you. And if you can't do that as a government, you are not
Incompetence.
You're not only incompetent, but you are not being taken serious.
But there's a
Or
plan
you
for
will
that,
not
right?
be taken
There's-
serious.
or
Yeah,
not?
we're working on a plan for that.
Okay.
We're working on a facility for that also.
Any idea where or?
Excuse me?
Any idea where this facility is going to be?
We have an idea, but we don't want to mention it yet because we have not spoken to the
Okay, yeah,
ones that are working in those
Do a
facilities.
background check. Make sure it doesn't belong to anybody in government.
Yeah, Ekoy.
Yeah.
Ekoy.
No, but if you look very well, we will use a lot of government facilities, and if we decide to use, I mean, sometimes you don't have no choice. But if you use that something,
Exhaust all of your-
we negotiate as much as possible to get the best deals for our community. We would not just go and say, "Okay, partner, you're my friend. I'm
Hey,
gonna take this and."
Let me rent your building.
Yeah.
Here's 10,000, although it's only
Yeah,
6,
exactly.
but I'll give you a little extra
Yeah.
because we're friends.
That's not the way we operate, especially not in justice.
And in regards to these same adicto nang, is there a law that can be changed where it's like, hey, I understand you have your rights to be doing what you want to do, pero by law and by rights now with this
Wait,
new law,
actually-
you're also inconveniencing other people.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the rehab or you have to go to
But
these
those
things.
laws exist. The problem is now we don't have the facilities. They were phased out of the whole system. But we do have laws. We have enough laws that we can implement. I can think of 3 laws at the moment. And when I left office, we left a law also in I think it was at the Department of Legislation, ready to go to Parliament. An extra law to be able to deal with under addicts.
So if you're being just realistic with yourself, like don't try to like make nothing up for
look
the body.
better, yeah, okay.
But full realistic to yourself. By when do you see this facility being able to run?
At the moment that we have the budget. So it doesn't only depend on justice, it depends on different departments. Actually, it's not even my responsibility, but I have a lot of experience in
Whose
this field.
responsibility is it?
It's actually public health. Because the
But it
department
has to be
is...
both of you together,
Yeah,
right?
but we're going to work together. We always work together. But
Who has public health?
and,
Is it,
and it's my colleague, Marvin Waitras.
Waitras,
She
okay.
has the portfolio drugs rehabilitation and drugs care, addiction care. So she is the one
write that down.
responsible. I think it's also important to realize that there was also a change in the way we look at the whole drug problem since we had the first MAP government, and they were supported by people that believe that we should legalize drugs and that drug is okay and that drug is the way to go. If you've seen that
said
at a certain moment, you forgot that?
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
at a certain moment,
I didn't
you
forget
saw that a lot of people were like kind of like afraid to say drug is bad and stuff. I mean, I respect anyone who wants to smoke weed. That's their business. I mean, as long as they're not little kids. I think you should protect little children because we have
Amen.
scientific proof that, I mean, it has an
It has
impact
benefits.
on, it has medical benefits if you use it, but it also has it also have scientific
it
proof that
delays the brain,
the
the
development
growth and all
of the
that.
brain. So you should not
As a young person.
Yes, young person.
Maybe
So,
as
I
an
mean,
adult.
If you're an adult, I mean, grown,
listen, I don't-
you know what you will say, grown W.
Ah!
Okay, you know, so that is not a problem. You know, the grown AA, no problem. If
By all means, Hasiboko.
as it goes, but not with kids. I mean, you
No,
always
absolutely
I
not.
have
agree
to
with that.
protect, you know, and we have
agree.
seen, I mean, people using that stuff, giving it to them kids and the kids and pretend that, you know, it's something great we are doing, and the consequences we see them on the street. So I mean, I've seen a lot of this stuff, and in no way I can, you know, go out and promote the use of drugs and pretend and try and fool people that it's something that's good. But
You shouldn't if you don't believe in it.
no, but not even if I believe that it have benefits for certain groups of people, I think you should not be promoting it as a recreational thing for young people.
No, absolutely not for youngs. I don't think young should be included in any part of this.
Yeah.
I think that part should be heavily on prevention.
Exactly.
That's I
And-
feel like what we
yeah.
should be. Our focus should be on a lot more prevention, and I feel like that's where schools fall in
Yeah.
place. I feel schools need to have a lot of more of these
Agree.
after school programs and a lot more on skill buildings.
Yeah. But it was even uit. No? I mean, at a certain moment, it was not
Even uit.
sexy. It was not sexy to speak about drug prevention. It was not sexy. It was not done because the government was pro-drug. So everybody had to
Go along
And
with it.
I never did, and I've said it before, and I will always say it. They have contributed to a lot of damage to humanity, or to humans in our society, and I'm happy that I was not part of that.
Ooh, clock it.
You feel the same way about alcohol?
Yeah, I do respect people if they don't drink alcohol, but I do believe that you should not give kids alcohol. You should not start in a late
Later
age,
age. Yeah,
and
yeah, I
you
agree
should
with that.
not. And you should be responsible with alcohol. One of the things I have also worked talking about safety and security. A lot of people don't really realize the damage that is caused by alcohol in societies, and especially in accidents, traffic accidents. There's a lot of damage, economical damage. Quality of life damage based on the use of alcohol in traffic, and we should be very, very aggressive in preventing the use of drugs in traffic. So what you see we've seen that the police was pushed back and not really able to implement their responsibility in controlling and creating more, increasing the possibility of being caught. So in Dutch we say verhogen van de pakkans. And that was based on the fact that we don't have enough police officers. But we're trying now to get more officers in place to be able to protect the community.
I do want to go back on the weed part. No, because
He said drugs. He didn't just say weed.
I know. But I just want to go specifically on weed.
Yeah.
Because obviously, around the world, it's pretty common. Holland, States, it's common. But what if this could be something that Aruba could benefit tax-wise? It could be a big income for Aruba to pay whatever debt we have. Maybe, I understand, maybe you don't believe in it, but if you see from an economical standpoint, hey, nos I'm not saying it's an economic pillar, but it's something different because a lot of tourists come here I work in tourism for 10 years.
Yeah.
And the number one question I always get daily, where can I get weed?
I understand. There's an international trend.
And have a control for it,
There's a trend. What I mentioned is that we need to protect innocent
Kids.
human beings. Yes,
Agreed.
kids, and prevent. As I said, if you are a adult, I don't control your life. You want to have
do whatever you want.
a
18
weed
plus,
tree in your
whatever.
house, and you want to smoke your weed in your backyard.
Go for it.
You're not molesting anyone. That's not my responsibility. That's not my problem. But we have to protect kids, young people, innocent people from drugs. That's my point of view.
I agree. I've always seen it just from an economical standpoint.
There are a lot of things we can do from economical standpoint.
I've always said this.
But why are we not doing them then?
Yeah, because not everything is morally right. But you can think about other things.
understand.
A bit of
think
we
about
gotta
a-
get to some because
Yeah.
honestly to God, people out here we dying.
Because
It's
if you say, for instance, you're gonna have a farm where you produce medical marijuana and you sell it to the industry, pharmaceutical industry, or you sell it through the
how you gonna get
pharmaceutical
a land
industry.
for the farm?
The government can facilitate those stuff, but that's not the responsibility of the Minister of Justice. The
Where the
Minister of
government
Justice,
at?
the Minister of Justice
it's control,
occupies
though.
with control
I
and stuff like
agree.
that, not with
I
farming.
said
Farming is a different department.
You brought it up. I just went on
No
it.
problem. I'm just honest
I've
about
always
it.
said it's more have 5 dispensaries, 2 in the north area, 1 in downtown, and 2 in San Nicolas, and just tax the fuck out of it. Sorry, tax it. And what do? Is you take care of all the drug people that sells on the street. Now you have a controlled substance, it's not healthy, but it's good stuff. It's not some stuff laced with other materials. That are
Them
selling in the
dealers will
streets.
still exist.
Yeah, I do agree.
understand.
Especially
And-
because
but
the government,
you have to
government
remember
has a hand
that-
in this. They're gonna jack up the prices all the way up.
That's not only.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
It becomes a service experience. You walk into a shop, everything's rolled up.
That's how it's supposed to
I'm
be.
just saying, more money for the Aruba.
I think it should at least be tolerated. I don't think it should be,
Yeah.
maybe not legalize it all the way, but at least tolerate like Holland.
That's your opinion.
That's mine because I think it's crazy. You can get locked up for having un puchi dias florin, and then somebody
you got
else
locked
out
up
here
for that?
killing people and the nangta. Yeah,
No, well.
You get locked up for the little bag?
you can.
You can get locked up for a lot of stuff, but
Duh.
normally you don't get locked up for if you have 2 cigarettes that you're smoking yourself.
Not a
Normally
cigarette,
you
but
don't.
cigarettes legal and that'll kill you.
No, it's not. No, I'm talking about cigarette. I'm talking about the
Ah,
marijuana
Joint.
cigarette.
He's using it as an
The joint,
example.
okay?
Yeah,
but,
sorry.
but everyone has their specialty. That's not
Yeah.
mine.
It's not yours,
My
yeah.
specialty is prevention and awareness because I come from the public health sector and legal sector. But I can imagine that someone who comes from the farming sector or from the economic sector, they will give you a different presentation.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. What's crazy?
That was such a political answer. I love that.
What is one crazy like a crime trend that you see in Aruba that like you kind of want to take care of that nobody really sees?
I don't think it's crazy. I mean, what we see in all over the world, one of the, emerging threats is cybercrime. So we need to invest more in creating units that are very capable of dealing with these new forms of crime, because they can be very damaging. They can, someone can just sit somewhere in the world and rob you. Don't you even know that you've been robbed?
Yeah.
But they can also do a lot of damage to economies and to innocent citizens through, for instance, sextortion and all kind of stuff like that. These days you have all these new possibilities of even creating fake content. So sometimes you can get away and say, that's not me. So maybe that's where the keerzijde. But it is an emerging threat throughout the world, and it can be used for not only threats to humans, but also threat to democracies and society. So that's one of the new things we are seeing. But the classical crimes, for instance, domestic violence, human trafficking, human trading, that stuff like that, smuggling, those are also crimes against humanity that we should have a lot of attention for.
So you being Mr. Prevention himself, what is the prevention method for if we know that this problem is one that's arising? Like, what are we doing about that to make sure that...
He knows the answer, because that's what he do. Information, information, education. That's one basic information, education at a very young age. We make people savvy in certain areas, but education. That's
but
what
how are
we
you
do.
doing this? Like in
How
schools
do you
or in...
prevent like cybercrime if it's not really? I'm 36, but I don't know what they're teaching nowadays. But in school, like, hey, government's
How do you pay aware to it? Because I feel like it would happen. I don't feel like it's more common to happen to younger people. I feel like it's more older people are more susceptible to it.
No,
I feel like
you'll be surprised. Young and old.
Understandable. I
young
believe
prince of
that.
Nigeria is
Young and
captured, needs $1 million.
But they
For instance,
say different things. They tell older people like, oh,
but
we'll
what you have
clean
to
this
realize-
thing. I will help your family with this thing.
But for
Somebody mentioned my
instance-
grandma, look, your grandson's getting captured. It's fully AI.
Cyberbullying, sextortion. You can also, rob people through cyber. And you can motivate people to give you money. But if you look, for instance, at sextortion, it's a horrific crime, because not only it puts a lot of pressure on the victims. Some of them even become so desperate that it leads to suicide. So it is something that's
because they don't tell. Most of them don't even come out and be like, "Hey, this happened."
Yeah, because they're ashamed. So if once you've been threatened, you will not. Your first thought would not be to
tell the police. Or
tell the police or tell someone that might be able to help you. First, you're in shame, then you're in pain, and then it might lead to even the worst case scenario. So it's important, and that's why I mentioned that information is important, because many times people don't realize that when you post something or when you share something, that you can't retract
take it back.
You can't take it back. So that is important for people to understand that kind of stuff.
I like that message. Y'all heard that? My mom always used to tell me that. I mess with that. Yeah, no, for real. I mess with that.
I wanna switch up and talk about the jail and stuff.
Kia, yes. Yeah.
It's already been. I was looking at the clock. Wow, it's been 40 minutes. Like,
Oh my God, already?
Yeah.
We're not even halfway through our questions.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay,
Go ahead.
let me wrap this up. Let me wrap this up a little bit. Okay, not wrapped up, but like come,
okay.
like put the motion and lotion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lotion and lotion. What is that?
Kia, yeah, let's like do faster. Come on, you can see you can go black. Oh no, no type of blackness around himself.
That's a black thing.
God damn. Okay, so what are the plans for inmates for? Let's talk about prevention and also post. How you put them back in the community. I did not mean to do this to y'all. Okay, I'm so sorry, y'all.
No. We have. I believe in rehabilitation, but for you to be able to rehabilitate people, you need to have them in an adequate facility. If the facility doesn't give you any possibility of creating a next to normal humane condition, then it will be very difficult to speak about the process of Kia correction of rehabilitation. So I think now we are just locking people up. We have different programs in which we are trying to, give them some kind of education, some kind of skills that they can use when they come out of prison. But I don't think that the facility itself is adequate, to have a full-scale rehabilitation program. However, with the lack of facilities, the inadequate facilities we have, the lack of personnel, because there's a lot of verloop, a lot of people leave the Kia.
Why?
Because the conditions are very poor. The physical conditions and the working conditions.
Can you give us an example of like what's really bad about it right now?
If you look at
just everything
infrastructure,
else.
infrastructure, walls are falling apart,
The
iron
gels
bars
comes
are
off the
rotten,
wall.
parts of the building.
It's salpated
and
up
the
there. That's
furniture
right.
collapsing.
Like,
I mean,
everything gets
just,
eaten out.
yeah.
So you need maintenance for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
for sure. But I mean, the condition in which it is at the moment is that bad that we need to construct a new prison. I mean, that process now of doing
shit.
the first phase of documentation on how and what's necessary to come to a plan for a new prison. That's in motion at the moment.
Is
Okay.
there something that Raka also mentioned last time? That he started doing something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, we started doing that 15 years ago, and it's kind of
I'm only
actually
half,
kind of but they had a plan to build a new prison. already.
Correct, yeah.
So and now when I came back in office, there was another plan because first the plan of the map was to build the prison, and then 4 years later there was a plan to talk about almost 8 years later. Now we're going to talk about how we're going to build the prison. But now they left, so now we are talking about.
So it's always been on the table, but nobody.
It's
took
just
action.
everybody talking and moving plans. Like, okay, like push that back.
a lot
okay,
of
push it to
lot
the
of
front, push it
talking,
to the
a lot
back.
of talking,
Like,
and the
I'm
Dutch,
sick of y'all.
the Dutch give some money. I understood at the end of the last government term, and so we're using that now, part of that, to do the new plan.
Nice. An idea when they're gonna start building, or is still in talk?
Well, I do hope not as as soon as possible, because the prison is certain areas of this prison is going to collapse
But then
sooner than
Would
later.
you give us access to go in one day and just We
I've
talked
been
about
there.
this.
Yeah, I do. I host Queen elections there.
I mean, getting into prison is not that
That's
difficult.
crazy.
You can arrange it to get into prison anytime you like. It's
Yeah.
not that,
but
it's
as
not
in
that
we-
difficult.
We've talked about this before. We want to just go and interview
As
like
inmate
inmates.
or-
no?
oh, you wanna-
as inmate? That's
you
Sharko.
can
you
arrange-
said as inmates,
But
so
you-
what happened to you? Not shit.
But you
Sharko
can
will be
arrange
happy.
that
Drop me
yourself.
some every day.
Are you crazy?
Sorry, drop me
No,
some.
I'm not built for prison. I'm sorry. I love my freedom. Respectfully.
Freedom,
No,
but
but what I
freedom,
mean-
you know, when you go into that prison, if you go inside there maybe a few hours, you will realize how important.
Yeah,
how
I
nice
love
your
freedom.
is.
I'm good.
However, you will be
I've
surprised that
never
the people that are revisiting the prison, care are back in prison.
But that's where
It's
I wanted to
surprising.
get to. So
Yeah.
we're talking about this thing for building a prison. Great. Leuk en alles, pero that's not happening for now. In the meantime, what is happening to the people that are coming out? Because clearly prison life is not that bad, that we do not only have like first-time offenders. It's like people that
but
continuously
you have
just-
to understand why people commit crime. Some people commit crime because they are in an environment that stimulates and motivates crime. Have people that don't have enough intellectual capacity to protect themselves from others who might drive them to commit
peer
crime.
pressure.
And certain people have also certain limitations that they cannot control themselves. And you have certain people that, they just can do better. So you have different, and not everyone who was in prison go back, but you have a large group of people who commit crime and sometimes even continue committing crime, not necessarily going back to prison.
So what's the prevention matrix for this? now?
Prevention it starts as a very young kid. I believe that you can start preventing someone of getting into crime at the day after they are born. And there is a way of working together with different organizations to monitor risks. And we saw that early detection, that you can, if you look at if you look at the history of crime, if you look at the history of the criminals, you can see that many of these criminals, not all criminals, not everyone who is live in a very bad condition becomes a criminal. However, you see that most criminals, and I'm talking about white collar crime, but most criminals have go through certain things in life that contributed heavily to them going into crime or starting a criminal career. And you can take away certain of these aspects and therefore influence or reduce the risk of becoming a criminal. But yeah, you need to be willing to work together and invest in these type of preventive measures.
Okay, so then what does this look like outside? Because clearly I feel like we're kind of tackling based on that this is not in predominantly very nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Most of the
Because
crime
there
rate
you
would
see
come
there's
from
a
like more
culture.
urban
Yeah,
neighborhoods.
there's a culture. So there's a culture. There's a lot of examples. There's a lot of attractions in these areas that will stimulate people in doing certain activities. However, if you're able to get into these communities and influence what's going on inside there, you can be in competition with those who are willing to pull people into crime. So the government, in fact, need to compete with the bad guys, and instead of them recruiting these young people to go into criminal world, we can recruit them to do sports and other kind of activities. So you can do that in the education system, the public health system, but at the end of the day, you need to work together to, as we say sometimes in Dutch, you need in certain families or certain systems, you need to doorbreak a vicious circle. The vicious circle needs to be broken, and you can do that through interventions. Subsidized by the government. The government really, and I've said it before, really needs to hold organizations that work for the government based on subsidies.
Damn right.
Hold them accountable.
Repeat that heavy again for them to hear in the back.
For the
Yep.
prevention.
Yep, hold them accountable because
That needs to be done.
especially after school programs for barrios. Nothing is going on. These kids are legit just there. Yeah, and after school, they're just there in this neighborhood just doing nada. Bored as hell, committing crimes. Just because, I don't care,
Nothing
for fun
else-
and whatever.
nothing else to do.
And now they're locked up. As by spraying some
Well,
muraya.
here most of the time you don't get locked up to spray paint.
I don't know. I just saying.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they get locked up for the weed. And I don't know. Whatever. Pero we need to have. If we're talking prevention, in my opinion, I feel like prevention starts from having
Starts at home.
active
From a small
things to
age.
do from.
That's one thing. Also,
Boredom.
Not just that's one. Two, at a young age. Three, household parents too. Because like yes, you can teach them after school, but then they're gonna go back to their old environment.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about, like the rehabilitation for like
Yeah.
the inmates. Because once you're out,
Yeah, but
How am I gonna stop you from doing
realize,
what you
but you
do?
have to realize when it's rehabilitation, you need to be able to influence the environment. So if you even go, for instance, for drugs rehab, or you go for criminal rehabilitation, you're in a facility, and then you're released, and then you go back into the same environment. I mean, if you were a drug addict and you sit in an environment at home or in the neighborhood under the tree where everybody's puffing drugs in your face or using drugs, I mean, the temptation is very, very big. If you go back to a system in which you do not have any help, you cannot get a job, you cannot, everybody knows not willing to support you to move forward in life, then you will say, what choice do you have then to do
okay, but Mr.
the
Dowers,
wrong stuff?
Mr. Minister Arthur Dowers, that is the case for majority.
Exactly.
Aruba ta mas high class mes ana ito yung record ko ilabay sira. So they leave out of jail. They ain't got no money to get their own apartment. They ain't got no job. They ain't got nothing. How do I make money?
That's
Like
what,
I make kumsabi in the back.
That's what I just said. You did it. You repeated it, but it's fundamental.
But then what we doing?
No, but rehabilitation takes more than just maybe giving you certain sets of skills in prison. We need to be able to facilitate. So, but we have done it in the past. So it is possible. We have done it. When I was in office in the past, we have had contracts with certain companies. We even had a program after school program. We had special education programs. I was in those days Minister of Education and Justice. We had training in prison, and we also had contracts with companies that were willing to take
Help with
these
those
people,
things.
these guys, and let them work in their companies. And some of them were very successful. So there are success stories.
Good. I feel like these need to be a little bit more publication. Pero,
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, because I wanted to ask, I read somewhere that you were talking about ankle monitors.
Yeah.
What is the case for this? How is this going to... How do you make sure that these same people in the community don't be like, oh, wow, na talaga kriminal nga for. And based on what cases do you say, okay, you know what? These type of cases, these people could get ankle monitors.
Yeah,
How does this work?
In our law, it's a possibility now that the judge can, if he, when you're sentenced, he can give you a additional measure that he just.
How far you can go from the premises.
Yeah, no. The judge decides, that you can also receive an ankle band, a bracelet. But we are thinking in youth criminality, and the reclassering is the one who should be involved in creating, the policies to be able to implement it in jeugdstrafrecht, youth crime. We're now doing the preparation to start this process, and the moment that we go out, when we really start implementing it, we'll go out in the community and give more information. But it's absolutely not the case that you will have very big criminals walking around with bracelets in the community. That's absolutely not the case. However, there are countries in which you can, with a bracelet, get house arrest, but most of the time you will see that's not for violent crimes and stuff like that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure of that. I'm sorry.
So we've been talking a lot about justice and crime and stuff. I do want to switch up a little bit.
Go crazy.
We can talk about DIMAS, and I want to talk about energy. And maybe we're going to come back to the whole crime part, because there is some stuff we do want to talk about. I just want to switch up just a little bit, if you're okay
Hop
with
on
it.
DIMAS. Yeah, hop on DIMAS.
So talking about immigration, there's currently right now an opportunity for non-documented people to get permits.
Yeah.
So how exactly does that work? How long are the permits for? What will happen after you're gone? Somebody else, is there a way to protect it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you could leave and somebody can be like, hey, let's reverse that.
Is the department even functioning?
Yeah, the department is functioning tremendously.
I heard the doors are closed.
Tremendously.
Because
No,
they
those
have
are
too
open now.
many.
No, those are open. Those are
Okay.
open. Yeah, I mean, it's tremendous. You should go one of these days, just pay a visit, 5 o'clock in the evening to 8.
I'm on the radio show.
Okay, but I mean...
You should put your radio on 5 o'clock.
Okay, but you can do the show from DIMAS one of these days.
Okay.
Go live. At
Let me
5
do that.
o'clock, 5 to 8, and then you will see how we are offering a different kind of service now. Really human-to-human approach, giving information, supporting people, and the clients are very
at DIMAS.
pleased at DIMAS. Yes, very pleased about that. We work during the whole day, but at night we have this special program. What we are doing is temporary. So if I
Once
leave,
it's done, it's done. How many permits have been given away so far?
we started this project for around 5,000. That's what we calculated, and now we are at 5,000. So
So you maxed out what you wanted to.
yeah, we maxed out what we
Is
thought.
that all the undocumented people?
No, we don't believe that. However, what we are seeing is that there is a group of undocumented citizens that are, or at least people that are present in our community, that are not willing or not interested in making use of this opportunity.
Why not?
You'll be surprised. I have no idea.
I don't understand why you're here. I'm sorry.
They're collecting zwart.
Because that's one thing.
Could be.
Then the other
but
thing
but
is,
but
No,
we
how else
what,
is
what is
surviving?
important, and I don't know when you're gonna when this is going to be published. I hope great. So I hope that a lot of them also watch the program and understand that this is your last chance. Once December 31st hit, we are not going to be lenient anymore. If you're caught illegal,
So
this is a work permit.
yeah, you can. We have now the possibility for you to get a work permit.
my friends,
that
yo,
was
listen,
the first
bro.
phase, work permit, and now we're in a phase in which you're going to give people a year permit, and they don't have a job, so they don't have what we call a garantstelle. They don't have a employer. However, they can get a permit, and within a year, we are going to support them in getting match them with an employer.
But all these permits that were given out, is it basically like a free for all, or is
Free for all?
No. So as in, here's one, or did you do a background check, or
This is not Oprah. I mean, this is serious.
you get a permit? You get a permit. You get a permit.
Yeah, this is
I don't know, because do you do a
serious.
background check? Do you
Yeah,
give
yeah,
it to the person who's like, oh, he's been here for like 8 years, so he actually do something for the community? Or some person that comes down, a Canadian comes down for the weekend, like, Hey, I like it. We're gonna stay for 3 months. Let me get my
Yeah, well,
permit.
sometimes that happened. But however, you must have been on the island before the 1st of July, illegal. And then what you see is that many of them were here like for 8 years, 3 years, 2 years, some
Imagine it's a
even
trap.
10 years.
Come get your permit. Gotcha.
Gotcha. That's not funny. Oh my god.
At the beginning,
sorry.
some people thought that. Some
Ice
people.
is hiding in there somewhere.
No. This is no
sorry.
ice stuff. This is real. I mean, serious,
Could have been outside.
serious Dutch Kingdom.
I'm sorry, guys.
legal stuff. No, this is a
Stop
whole
laughing,
different.
It's not funny.
Yeah, no, this is a whole different ball
I'm
game.
so sorry,
You have to meet certain criteria. If
Okay,
you don't
that's
meet them,
important.
so you can't have a criminal record.
Yeah.
So it's also possible, as you mentioned, maybe someone who has a
You have
criminal
some positive
record.
skills to help community.
Yeah,
you know.
you have to have a employer. That's one of the important things. Now we are in the phase in which we're saying, okay, those that do not have employer, however, they were here for a long time, we're going to give them the possibility to be legal for a year, and in that year, we expect you to do your utmost best, and we're going to support you in getting into the normal legal,
And what happens
legal
if
force.
what happens to them if that doesn't?
There will be a moment where we have to tell each other goodbye, but
Yeah.
I mean, we do it in a decent way.
Yeah. So at least you're giving them a chance. Like, hey,
Yeah.
here's a permit for a year.
Yeah.
Go find a job, find somebody to hire
Yeah.
you, and then you're in. And
Exactly.
they can stay as long as they
we're
want.
treating people nice, showing a lot of love, but also we also know that even
And
to,
this is happening without like promises like, okay, well, vote upon me until it, but like,
the nice thing of it, none of these people can vote.
no?
If you're illegal, you can't vote.
But once you document
No,
it,
you have to have a Dutch nationality to be able to vote. So
yeah.
Look at the fine print says
to
if
have
you
a
sign
Dutch
this, you need to
nationality.
vote for Actu Dowers on the next election.
Clatter.
But
Man,
if
you're sending your ass
you
right
really
back.
want to run your campaign and that you only get one vote, you don't get one
That's
vote.
crazy.
None of these people can vote.
Okay,
But it's about humanity. It's about treating people in a decent way. It's about creating establishing law and order in your community. It's about creating economical opportunities for people. But it's also creating the possibility that the government can, get his fair share of taxes and stuff like that. Protecting the community, because if you have a lot of illegal people in your community, they don't go to the doctor. Sometimes they're coming. They have certain contagious diseases. They spread in the community.
True.
So there's a lot of important
Factors.
reasons to do something like this. We have seen all kind of new systems created in our community. For instance, underground banking systems in which people just borrow money.
Like loan sharks.
Loan money.
Let's go. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, these illegals borrow money from loan sharks, and then they have their way of threatening them. And in a decent society and a small society as ours, we can do much better than we have done the last 7 years.
Amen.
Before that, we did good, and then came 7
This guy
years.
here
of-
taking
He's
shots,
just
huh?
throwing the jabs,
sees an opportunity.
and it's so smooth. Oh my god.
All right, so I want to jump in energy, and then we're gonna revert back to the whole justice part. You cool with that?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so because there's some questions. So
Go.
What's happening with WEP, Elmar, the water management? What are the plans regarding energy policy?
Okay, there is an energy policy. It's written. We have some very good experts, all locals, Aruban guys who left because of the way they were treated the last 7 years, and they're back, and a lot of them are back, and real professionals. I mean, I've spoken to these guys. It's unbelievable. If you see the plans, you see the capacity. I mean, it's really sad that the human capital that was ill-treated and sent away or
There wasn't an
went to
opportunity for them
exile.
here, like,
Because what was happening was, you've seen it, we were just putting in, they were putting in primo, prima, suegro, friends and family. And
With no skills.
No skills. And the criteria.
Listing ainda que por raça e trabalho.
Exactly. The criteria
Correct.
was not if you have skills. The criteria was which clan did you belong to. And it's sad because if you look at RWSS, when we came into office, we had to take some drastic measures to stop RWSS of taking a loan of 250 million
From where?
this year. I mean, they just go and get it from the banks. From the banks. Yeah, they'll have just
and where would the money go if they've received?
money will go into friends and family and contracts and also in certain investment that were necessary. But it was not necessary to loan 250 million this year. And we stopped that. We had people in office, and I mean, even the director of the IWSS was had no idea, absolutely no idea at all, what ISS is all about. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about ISS. I'm not stupid.
But you can hire experts. Or
you
know,
need to hire
advisors.
experts.
Yeah.
You need to hire
I
experts.
need to, it's a
You understand?
necessity.
So
Like,
if you want to have someone on a plant, then you're going to get an engineer to do that.
Who knows
I mean,
what
we
he's
have to be
doing.
honest. I mean, if you can be in the board, you can be in the holding, but you're not going to, I mean, if you own a bank, you're not going to take someone who sells, I don't know what, for kind of,
I
whatever,
understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
and let
Yes,
them direct it.
I agree.
So because most of them will not do what they have done with these public entities. If they were their private companies, they would not put these lunatics to run them.
Oh,
That should be the criteria.
Yeah.
Would you put that person to run your mother's, your father, your own company? And if the answer is no, then
why Aruba deserve
why
it?
Aruba
Correct.
deserve that?
I agree with you. Clock
Okay.
it.
We agree. Wow.
I agree with you.
Came a long way, but we agree. Good.
An hour into the show, we
We're
finally
getting,
got
we're
it.
getting somewhere.
But what about? I know years ago there used to be a whole solar panel. It's in San Nicolas, right? The whole
think
solar
it's
panel.
still
there.
there.
San Nicolas,
But is
different.
it still there to maintain?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. There are certain things.
I don't know about maintenance, but I think it's still
Yeah,
there.
we have different solar parks, and they are there, and we want to create more solar parks. The wind farms are there. They're now
I remember Richard Branson came here with
yeah.
during Mike's
Yeah, yeah.
covering.
our government
Yeah.
15 years ago,
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
when things were going good.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
We're not mad
And
about
we did
it.
a lot of investment in the community, but also in renewable energy and the green agenda. And we are now running behind Curacao. We were the front runner, not only I think in the Caribbean, but now we are not the front runner anymore. However, we have
We'll
enough
get there.
capacity,
Take a
and
back seat.
we're gonna build it up back
Let's
eventually.
All right, let's jump back in Justice and Crime track.
All
By the
right,
way.
so let's talk about this. What are we doing to prevent, and we gotta say his name, Mr. Aiden Illinois, but that was a very horrible tragedy. So what are we doing right now to make sure that something like this never happens
Yeah.
again?
I think what we have been doing forever is guaranteeing that we recruit the right police officers and have the good sets of skills, and we have the right procedures in our police academy, to guarantee that we develop a culture in our police force that guarantees that these things do not happen. However, as you've seen, we do not have it 100% in the hand. So we have to, a certain moment, revisit what we've done. However, we need to have this case take place in court and get all the documentation for us to really learn and understand what happened and what went wrong, and based on that, for us to take decisions for the future. We cannot anticipate on the result of the case. That's in the hand of the public, district attorney's office and the public prosecutors. And at the end of the day, in a court, the judges will decide what's the fate of everyone involved in this case. And when that is concluded, we will take our responsibility also as a government.
So do you feel like in this case, body cams would be a plus or a negative?
I think that body cams is a instrument that contributes to accountability. So it's always a plus.
Okay.
I think body cams are a plus. What you said earlier, you can only use it if you really need it. Not that you can like, hey, tomorrow upload a video about social media.
No, but
It's to use in court
absolutely, you
cases.
cannot do that. So
No, exactly.
no police officer has the authority to do anything like
It's
that.
not their content,
No,
basically.
Correct. But
It
what I
is,
mean
it
is,
is,
it's
it is by
belongs
law
to-
stipulated, it's the government content, and that the government, the Ministry of Justice, gives the authority to the chief of police to collect and store that material. So no one can just get to that material. The district attorney's office is entitled. The district attorney can subpoena material if necessary for investigation, and that should be very clear. So it is something that's very serious.
So we're also seeing, shout out to Kapia. That's my peeps. You know, I love me some Kapia. Pero they are short-staffed,
Yeah.
overworked. What is the long-term and short-term goal that for this?
When I was in office the last time, I counted, we recruited, I think, like 200 officers to the force, and but we need to recruit more officers. That's the main thing. You need to, and we have also introduced technology and different other forms of
But are people
supporting for the
interested
police.
in becoming officers?
We have enough people that are interested. Yeah.
Because my question was gonna be like, what are some added benefits, like incentives for them? Like, oh, I really want to be like a cop, you know? Because I mean, I don't know how much a police officer makes, but
I mean, the officers are well paid. I mean, I will not say that they are not properly paid. However,
Over times, though, that's how.
also,
They
but
make
but
the
I
money.
but I do believe that the government has a responsibility to guarantee safety and security in a country. That means that you need to recruit people to join your force. And what we have seen in the years that I was there is that we have a lot of interest. A lot of people are interested in being part of guaranteeing safety and security in the country. And you have different other government departments where people are willing to work. Even in the prison system, where you will think, wow, that's not the most attractive place, you still have a lot of people who have the passion to apply to work in the system. So, and the salaries in the government are not bad. The working conditions not necessary are the best at the moment, especially especially in the prison system.
So you're saying that right now, like it's getting better, like, as in recruitment wise. Like, what's the number? Like, we need this many police hours on the streets for things to be like, okay, we're in a good spot. What's your goal? And where are we right now?
And where are we now? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have different numbers and we have different calculation based on certain presumptions. But I do believe if we can add in the period, if we can add 40 officers in the coming year to the force, because we have a plan in which we can add that will contribute in a great way to reduce certain crimes and to increase the presence of police officers, what we call blauw op straat, blue on the street. So I will say this year, if we can do 40, I mean next year, 26, if we can do 40, that will be a very good.
And I know now there's like a new tag of kids in school right now, like school police. Mm-hmm. How long do they stay in school before they can become official officer?
Well, first they do the basic training, then they start working. So it's 4 years before you complete your studies, but they go to work after 1.5 years. They are out working. We have also a group of police officers that can go into the working field after 6 months.
Are you already getting paid while you're going to school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, they get paid to go
Yeah,
to
because
school.
they do different
Upladings and different things.
practical and training and training.
Training. I like that.
Training
You better go.
and training during their opleiding.
Okay.
All right, now I know you had a question about like.
Oh, the years and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I'm curious to look at the algo met wag turchinese de un corant skibi of people talk about this on social media. It's like how many like going to jail like for certain stuff. Like, for example, somebody molests a child by prison 2 años. I'm like, people are like, yo, what? Or somebody kills someone pa 8 años. It makes you feel like, I can just shoot this person. I'll be back in the street in 8 years anyways. I'll just chill in prison. Family comes and visit. No problem. So like,
there's
kikons pa straf mas pisa pa.
Because
like abusing a 6-year-old, isn't.
Yeah, there's science. Tem ciência com botar tackle, com botar determinar que castigo tu orduna. So it needs to be mas tem balance.
Of course.
However, há um jurista, tem mais jurista que não impossível.
Balance.
Yeah, I mean in the punishment. So what do I mean?
So this equals this.
Yeah. So if you kill someone and you get 25 years, you cannot give someone who, steal a purse 25 years. You understand what I
If
mean?
you take somebody's life, like
No, that's what I'm saying.
They
So-
lose their life. Like how
Yeah.
you get in 25 years?
What is it?
Yeah, you can
Lock
get-
your ass up.
You
Don't stay in
you can
there.
get 25 to life. So if you get life, premeditated murder, you can get life, for instance. But it's the judge decides, not the minister.
Yeah.
And but you still have to have this in gradatie. You cannot give someone the same punishment for
a next
a
crime
murder
or
or
nothing like that. Yeah,
premeditated
makes sense,
murder.
makes
okay?
sense, makes sense.
So but very important thing to realize is that castigo, because a lot of, even if you ask a seasoned district attorney, most probably they will not be able to tell you the punishments that are on the different
It's based off a
crimes.
case.
But because it's not, so the criminals also do not know that. What deter people from committing crime is the possibility of getting caught. The pagkans. Se a chance que o agarrar para cometer crime que hope alto, most probably will not do it. And then I'm not talking about people that are not psychological in order or crimes of impulsive crimes and stuff like that. But most of the time, what you'll see that people who commit crime, if the chance of being caught is very high, that deters people from committing crime, not the height of the punishment. Okay. That's one thing important to realize. So sometimes we want to make sure we have higher punishments, but not necessarily that's the only factor that determines or prevents people from committing crime.
I mess with that. I have a question which is not on this.
Go for it.
Sorry, it's on public transportation.
Okay.
Okay.
Whenever he does this, I get a little nervous.
Okay,
I don't know what he's
No,
about to
because it's
say.
not like in a bad thing.
Okay.
But
No,
like,
but the
okay.
public transportation is,
Yeah.
It's an awareness, man. Like in my first of all, traffic in this island. Fees. Kodi mas stinky kuting.
You would think that the what if was one would have fixed something. It made
Why is public transport?
Imagine if we didn't have what if was. Huh? Imagine if we didn't have what if was.
no, but like no. Well, actually, I'm saying the opposite.
Right.
That it's great. That's great, but se cae también así like what
It's
if
a
was,
duns.
all the other ones.
Yeah,
that's
I
a
mean,
long
but
traffic.
imagine if you didn't have what if was, how it would have been.
Imagine if we build a bridge.
Or
If we had the first, if we had
imagine if public transportation was
much
reliable.
better. Yeah, well, we can work on that.
Like I'm talking satellite reliable. Like in Holland, you could just stand up like at the
Do
tram
agree.
and you could be waiting and they'd be
Yeah,
like,
okay.
"Oh, your thing is coming in 3 minutes."
That is a challenge, and we're going to work on that. So
That is-
I mean,
like the buses
if I can count on your support, we're going
100%. I don't want to. I hate driving. If I could take the bus, you know how much work I could get done
Okay.
sitting in a bus.
Okay.
But I have to drive.
Let's promote it. Yeah, I do agree. I mean, we in the coming period, we're gonna try and get some experts on public transportation,
Please.
and mobility, and have them design a plan in which we can
Kind of build like
make
a
this thing.
side road just for the bus.
Please.
Like, not
Yeah,
even
that
the-
we have no infrastructure.
I think
for that.
people don't
Yeah,
even
but-
want to drive. Like people just
It's
drive
crazy,
because
it's crazy.
everybody needs a car. But like,
Yeah.
if you don't need it, I will park that shit con mil amor. I will take the bus.
To be honest, that makes sense because if you had more, let's say, more buses that move like in coordination, that means less cars on the street. That means less traffic.
And you know exactly when the bus is coming. So you know, okay, let me run because the bus coming, or don't even bother because the bus already left. I have to wait for the other one
but
over there.
But what if maybe there should be a place where you can park it? Okay, but in bus halter. But like maybe there are different stops.
We have a place behind DOA. You can park your car there and take the bus and go to the hotels, for instance, or take the tram and go into the main street.
Because like what if I live in
Yeah, but
I live in
I talk about
Tangible,
San
like, where am I
Nicolas,
gonna stand?
Tom.
Yeah,
and
San Nicolas
hotel.
bring you to the way.
That bus ain't running on time.
No.
That bus drivers don't have time. They watching you with like an attitude. It's like, I mean, they're probably also not happy because I don't know what's going on with them as well. Pero like public transportation,
Needs attention, and it has our attention.
ASAP.
Good. Gonna work on it.
Thanks.
Counting on your support for that.
You have mine.
Good, great.
I counting on yours.
You have mine. You
Okay,
have mine. I got your back.
All right, let's get it. Okay. So now, like,
Island rumors?
Yeah.
I just looked at it. I was like, we're looking for this one. All right.
Okay, so
Island rumors.
Island Rumors claimed,
Yeah.
okay, you and Mike DeMeza were one of them that was not really too happy about Baltercos. Okay, it happened, it popped off. Allegedly, there was something going on in Kasi Partido de AFP. Y'all went up that night. Next day, bam, Mike Iman them called. They was like, okay, let's make Baltercos. Ta! When the number one, this one the number 25, 29, I don't know what number he was. But anyways, that was it.
That's Walter Coast.
Costa Paso. That was Baltercos. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a result of Balter Coast.
Oh.
Balter Coast was a lema, but okay. And Balter Coast actually is.
Let me hear this.
It was a lema, and it's a friend of mine from my district, Dakota, who came with Balter Coast. So it had nothing to do with the list.
Nice.
Actually.
Well,
But actually, when the list was flipped the way it was flipped, people said, yeah, that's Saita Balter Coast, which is okay.
But to go back to what you said earlier in the podcast,
Yeah.
Bam. Then all of a sudden we heard all the rumors. Y'all were not happy with. I don't know if it was maybe about the youngsters because I had like Stephanie Zivinger, you have Wendrick, you had all these coming up above both of y'all that been there, done that. And then all of a sudden we saw, boom! Experiencia ta conta.
Yeah, but you know what I think experience conta.
Let me hear this. Now we must get the political answer. Let me hear this.
Last year,
Yeah,
right?
but you could have called me and asked me. I said,
okay.
you know what
We got you here.
the nice thing was? I said experience conta many weeks before, and then I understood when the list was presented the way it was, they took that and said, no, I said that had nothing to do with that because I do believe experience conta. And I see it in practice. You guys are doing a much better job than when you started.
Damn right. I agree with you.
So eventually, everybody realized, that the guy is right. Experiência ta conta. However, when the list was presented, there was no discussion. I had no discussion with anybody because I think I was number 3 on the list, right? And I don't even remember what number I was. I was number 3. And when the list was presented, I was number 3. So I didn't have no reason to discuss with anybody. So, no. I have never, since I came into politics, never asked for a number on the list, never fought for a number on the list, and never really cared about the number on the list because any number I had on the list, I always just worked very hard. And always what I have done have paid off.
Duro que Dowers.
Assim na mesma.
Okay, so let me get to Rocco's question.
I think you got that question, 2 more questions, and then
Okay, yeah, because we've been doing this shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So this was Rocco's question to you. He said, si por quis proyecto que o gobierno anterior a iniciar para continuar con él, ¿cuál es el tal?
I think one the initial with.
Oh, he said, what the iniciar with?
Yeah, because actually, I don't know how they determine initial, no? Because if you look at initial, for instance, I mean, I don't know any project they really initial, but if they say, for instance, that they initial talking about building a new prison, which was initiated 15 years ago, I will continue with that. Any project that they initiated was good, I will continue. I have no problem dealing with no project that they came with. The only problem I have is that they pretend that certain projects that were done under my responsibility, that is, they did it. I mean, everybody happy. If they're happy, I'm happy for them. Okay. But any project that comes that's good, I will continue on. So
you would, if you had to kiss based off like his question, it would be Erikia.
I mean, anyone that they initiate. I don't know which one they're talking about, because I didn't see really anything that is
Wait,
really...
so y'all don't get like a handover? Like,
yeah, you have a
hey,
handover,
this is everything we did, here
but
you
let's,
go.
let's be honest. Can you tell me anything that the map government initiated? I didn't see nothing really initiated by them. I mean, very honest.
I'm trying to think right now.
Because, for instance, we did initiate the whole green corridor thing that they said. You remember the lady? She said, I'm not going to go on the drive over the bridge because it was done by AVP. And then she went to Curaçao. And she reached Curaçao. She said, Aruba tayo din brug. Remember that? But so proud that we have a bridge that she didn't want to even drive over because we initiated it. I mean, we're not like that. We are, if something is good for the community, I don't care who initiated it.
Yeah.
Done. We're going to push if it's good. But I didn't see really any project they initiated. If there is, I will continue if they're good.
Okay.
No problem.
So, what's one thing, and then we don't have to go deep into it, just mention one thing that you feel like you've done pa justicia, they don't see it. Like, maybe it went under the table, nobody, like you did it, but nobody knew you did it.
I think recruit 200 police in the force.
Okay.
When I look into the history of Aruba, I've admitted more police officers in the force than any other Minister of Justice in the history, and then in the second place is my one of our AVP, Weilen Wativos, that we loved very much. He is the one who recruited, after myself, more police officers in the force than any other Minister of Justice. So that's one of the things but I mean, there are a lot more. For instance, the camera project for the island is one of the projects I initiated, created the law, implemented the project. Now it's revamped in a new facility. That's one of the projects also, and I'm very, very proud of. So the dog units at the police departments. I love animals, but that's one of I'm very proud of that project, and so many different other things. But I mean, these are things that I can just like that remember.
Okay.
I mess with that.
So, what are 3 promises that you can make today that you will have completed by, next year, 2026, like November?
The end of your term, basically. Once
you want to do that one, like the whole.
Your whole term. Because I feel like it's just realistic.
End of the year.
That's a good question.
But you can invite me next time for us to follow up.
No, of course. But it's just
so we can do 6 months.
The purpose of the question is, what is 3 things that you feel like you would 100% be proud of and you will be able to complete by the end of your term? And of course, each year we'll be like, okay, so where are we at with the status of this thing?
Yeah,
But it's just like, since now is our first time doing this, we would like to know, so then next year, November, you got to come back.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, so last year you said that these are the two things.
One of I think the most important thing is to create a department of justice.
What do you mean right now?
Ministry from
It's a
UCC, Department of Justice,
what are you talking
write it in stone, that create a Department of Justice. So what we do not have on Aruba, a Department of Justice. We do have different departments.
Fair.
No, I'm not talking about fair. I'm talking about a department. You understand, it's a ministerie, dus a department. That means that you have a top layer that governs all the departments of justice. So you have policy developed, judicial. You have, for instance, department for
internal
onderwijs.
affairs.
No, it's not internal affairs. Internal affairs is part of the police department. It is what we call in Dutch a ministerie. So like you have a department where policy is developed, where the minister is supported, where you have continuity in policy development and in policy implementation. That's one of the things that 15 years ago I wrote it in my policy document, and that's one of the things I think in the coming year we need to implement. And
Thank God, you got Carlos Gaimo.
he's part of the team. Yeah. He can do some job. But like for instance, he's working with me now, and we have different other experts. But then I hope in the future that they will be working for the ministry, and then when you come in as a minister, you just be part of the ministry and have continuity.
The work continues,
The work
nothing
continues.
stops.
I think that's
I
very
fucks with
important.
that.
It's
Yeah,
nice
that's
though.
one of the nice things. I think that we
You kind of like
mentioned.
detach from. It's like we're our own entity. Like we just make sure everything.
Yeah,
goes.
and we support, the departments,
Yeah.
guarantee that things are moving smooth.
The right way.
Continuity, et
And then
cetera, et
make sure
cetera.
people who are hired for that are people that doesn't matter if government changes. It's like
Yeah.
people who are good in their field.
Yeah, but they need to be,
Professionals.
but they need to be good. Okay, so that's very
professionals,
important.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
And
and
with some master's degrees or something.
Yeah.
And then we put you in there.
I think that's for me the most important one. You need more?
3.
It was 3 Angela, pero
You can live with this one.
Yeah.
we could do this. We could do this. We could do this. We
Oh
could do
well.
this.
And I think
we
that
can
and
include the 40 cops.
Well, the 40
for
cops. I mean, but that's
next year.
that's
So
it.
that's easy.
Yeah, that's easy, and
Follow up.
and we have the implementation plan for the prison ready.
Yeah.
To
I hope by next year when we
What
do this
location would you do the prison? The same one or like?
No, the government, as I told you, this MAP government had a location to build a prison, and then 8 years later they go and decide how they're going to design the prison that they were going to build 4 years before. So
You was gonna build something with no plan.
no plan. on a location in
just work it
Barcadera. On a location in
backwards.
Barcadera. Yeah.
that was their plan.
Yeah.
Or
It was
you-
not a plan. It was a,
It was a-
it
So
was
they
a,
said
it was
they
a,
want to do it in Barcadera area.
yeah. There was
And who said this?
that was I think in the days of MAP. I think Bicker was
Andin.
most probably, and that there was a location. I think in Barcadera. And yeah, if that location is good,
Then go for
we're
it. Why
going to
not?
go for it there, no problem. Although people in St. Nicholas are not very happy that we're taking away the prison because
What?
yeah, you'll be surprised. The people still feel that it brings. I mean, not much, but it still brings a little bit of traffic and a little bit to the economy. If somebody stops by a not rum shop, sorry.
I can see that. I can see that.
And I was surprised. When I spoke to them, they say
know
no,
it
but
was an
it's a
attraction.
little bit. No, it still bring people to St. Nicholas.
It's always busy. I'm not gonna. I
Yeah,
live
they
right
they
around
buy-
there. So I
yeah,
see
yeah,
them.
Certain restaurants will sell because they will buy food, they will buy a drink and stuff. I mean, it's not.
That is
I mean,
crazy.
it's not the hotel area, but it's you will be surprised and when you.
People come-
No,
So
when
Nicholas, you stop accepting bullshit. Like, why we can't get something else? Oh, you want a gym?
It's an industry. It's an
Oh, you want a
industry.
gym?
It's an industry.
Oh.
But I mean, we can redevelop it to something nice.
Yeah.
I
Do
agree.
something else. Come on, that's
Maybe
crazy.
call it-
Maybe that could be
We call it-
Ambulante place.
No. We
Make
call
it
it
nice.
Jail Inn, 5-star resort. What do you think?
I'm not mad. Do your big
There's
one.
a politician in there.
No, but it's prime land, so you can use that for
Yeah, that's-
beautiful developments. I think in the future, but we need something different in that location.
All right.
All
Well,
right, Mr. Dowers. I think.
thank you for your time.
Yeah.
First of all,
Thank you.
It was
for
my
coming on the
pleasure.
show.
It was my pleasure.
Next year again.
Yeah.
Next week
Our
again, I don't
plan,
mind.
We talked about next week.
We have a lot of stuff to share with our community. We have a lot of young people that listen to you guys, and we need to get a message out.
100%,
I mean,
that's what
just
we're here.
stay away from drugs, guys.
What?
You have you have enough time to.
I agree with that. Stay away from drugs. Don't do drugs. Drugs is
When
not
you're small-
good.
When you're small, stay away from those things. Do sports and.
But we
do
gotta be able to
nice.
facilitate that. You know, have like fix all the oh my God, allen ko din like a vel di football and
Yeah, but we need to start to love ourselves and our
Amen.
community also, because
Facts.
I mean it's crazy that we are willing to just litter everywhere and break stuff that is not ours, and I mean we
People
need
don't
we
care
need-
no more.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
you know, I don't want
that's
to sound like, I don't know if this will come off the wrong way.
It's no filter. Say what you gotta say.
Sometimes if you say like people just litter everywhere, could this be people that are not from here? They just moved to Aruba. Like I don't
no,
care.
this is,
People
no,
don't-
no, no. They're not,
I'm
no.
not saying
They are
you know,
also, because you have people that
I feel
come
like
from
it's a
certain
mix.
cultures in
Yeah.
which that's maybe
I see
normal.
people on Sasaki, just throw it out the window.
Yeah,
No,
but that's
fuck.
not necessarily people that come from away. You will see people that, for instance, are visitors to the island, and they are very particular about maintaining the island clean. You will see if they have some stuff that they use, and they will not leave it on the beach. They will leave it. You see tourists do that. So there are people that come from other
Tourists for
places
sure.
that really love. I mean,
Not tourists for sure.
public.
Most tourists.
No, yeah, a lot,
Some,
lot, not
some
all,
too.
not all.
Because
But
they
I mean,
go dirty when they're ready
some
to.
of them,
Don't do that.
some of them. But
Yep.
so it's not something that's only for people who
It's a
don't
mix.
belong. It's a mix, and we have too many people in our own society that. And as I said, if you feel you can do as you like, and you're not sanctioned, like up to the park counts, the possibility,
gonna
the
get caught.
chances of getting caught. You will just continue doing what you've been doing for long. We have a lot of problems, guys. We're going to deal with them.
We're gonna follow up next
And,
year,
Amen.
or in 6 months. Who knows?
Yeah, next year is like 2 months.
I mean, like
Basically,
our goal
the
here
New
is to
Year
do this
edition.
every November.
And
Every
you
November, we're
should,
gonna
you
be
should
doing
do
a
it more
political
often,
season.
because you have a special group of people to listen to you, and we need more of that. So I mean, I can go to Speed and 24 Horas, I love them. However, the guys
It
who
ain't
listen to
this,
you
that.
guys
We
are
mess
not
with you.
the ones who listen to
We like
you.
just like have a conversation
Yeah.
and not like farandula. You know.
Yeah.
No, Speed, maybe tras, please.
Okay, this is very random, but anybody ever say you look like Martin Luther King? Like light? Nah?
No.
Oh, okay. Low key given.
Okay.
Side profile. Like you just say I have a dream.
I'm gonna make it. Now I'm gonna make a thumbnail like have them together.
I have,
Alright, guys,
I have a lot of dreams. Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to subscribe, and if you guys have questions, please write down below. And next time when we see Mr. Dowers, we'll ask again.
Real quick, where can people get information about what's going on with your ministry and like updates from you and all this good stuff if they want to
question.
follow? Like, just let them know like
Yeah,
what's your social plugs or whatever. Where can they find this
I was
information?
gonna say.
Okay, well, what we are on 24 Horas many times. That's a news outlet. In the local media, we have our own Instagram page and Facebook. I have my Facebook page.
Okay.
So I have two. And we share a lot of information on our pages also.
Okay,
Maybe
perfect.
not enough content, but
I was
we're doing our
about to
utmost
say,
best.
Let's work on that.
I'm
Let's
looking
work
at it
on
right
that.
now. Like
Yeah.
you need to like really
Like
push
today,
on.
we didn't
Because
push
if our
anything
people
today.
are gonna go follow and listen to this, they're gonna want to see what. Okay, let me buy waki kuting Dowers and then
Okay, good.
I'm looking at
Nara.
October.
Well,
you know it goes hand in hand.
That's
So
a
Dowers. You need to invest in the social media team because
that's a message to my content creators. Then they
Per.
need to do a better job. Okay.
I'm
so-
and
looking
you
up
gotta
here.
help them do a better
What you
job
mean?
because they can't force you to be like, hey, look, I mean, we get saki content, but upon the bing,
Yeah.
you know, so it goes hand in hand. You have to work with them so they can work with you.
yeah,
There's a
we're
really good company you should look out. It's called Content Project. They do really good social media work.
gonna look out to it.
Give them a call.
Yeah.
See my phone rings. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time. And peace. Ayo.
Yeah.
Thank you.